There are at least two reasons for that. First, it is the only one, let me repeat that, the only one of the nation's 10 most common causes of death for which there is no effective treatment. And by effective, I'm setting the bar pretty low. If we had a drug or other intervention that made people with Alzheimer's disease even a little better, never mind curing the disease, I'd sing its praises to the rooftops. So would everyone who has a loved one with Alzheimer's, everyone at risk for Alzheimer's, and of course, everyone who has already developed Alzheimer's. But no such drug exists. We don't even have a treatment to keep people with subjective cognitive impairment or mild cognitive impairment, two conditions that often precede Alzheimer's disease, from going on to develop full-blown Alzheimer's. Incredibly, given the astounding progress in other areas of medicine over the last 20 years, think cancer or HIV/AIDS or cystic fibrosis or cardiovascular disease. As I write this in 2017, not only is there no cure for Alzheimer's disease, there is not even anything that reliably prevents or slows Alzheimer's disease. You know how critics make fun of TV afternoon specials and Lifetime movies about angelic children or saintly mothers and fathers who bravely battled cancer and, with the aid of the latest miracle drug, are restored to perfect health before the final credits roll? Schmaltzy, sure. We in the Alzheimer's field would happily settle for schmaltzy if it were even remotely plausible to depict a happy ending to this disease. The second reason Alzheimer's disease inspires such dread is because it's not only fatal. Lots of diseases are fatal. As the old joke has it, life is fatal. Alzheimer's is worse than fatal. For years, and sometimes decades before it opens the door to the grim reaper, Alzheimer's disease robs its victims of their very humanity and terrorizes their families. Their memories, their capacity for thought, their ability to live full and independent lives, all gone, in a grim and unrelenting descent into a mental abyss where they no longer know their loved ones, their past, the world, or themselves. The linguistics professor, who is the heartbreaking protagonist of the 2014 movie Still Alice, carries a DNA mutation that causes Alzheimer's disease to develop by middle age, discovered in 1995. You've probably read about the great strides that cancer biologists have made by discovering genes associated with tumors and crafting drugs based on them. With Alzheimer's disease, that 1995 discovery has not led to the development of a single Alzheimer's drug. This awful disease stands out for one additional reason. The last 50 years have brought triumph after triumph in molecular biology and neuroscience. Biologists have untangled the immensely complex pathways that lead to cancer and have figured out how to block many of them. We have mapped out the chemical and electrical processes in the brain that underlie thoughts and feelings, developing effective, if imperfect, drugs for depression and schizophrenia, for anxiety and bipolar disorder. Sure, there's a lot left to be learned and a lot of improvement needed for the compounds in our pharmacopoeias. But in virtually every other disease, there's a strong sense that research is on the right track, that the basics are understood, that although nature will keep throwing curveballs at us, she has revealed to us the fundamental rules of the game. Not so with Alzheimer's. In this disease, it's as if nature handed us a rule book written in disappearing ink and edited by evil gremlins who rewrite entire sections when our backs are turned. What I mean is this. Seemingly rock-solid evidence from lab rodents suggested that Alzheimer's disease is caused by the accumulation in the brain of sticky synapse-destroying plaques made of a piece of a protein called amyloid beta. Those lab studies indicated that amyloid beta is formed in the brain by a series of steps, and that either intervening in those steps or destroying amyloid beta plaques would be an effective way to treat and even prevent Alzheimer's disease. For simplicity, I'll henceforth refer to amyloid beta